Hello everyone, this is Northern Firefighter again, and I say welcome back to another fire safety video. And today we're going to talk about what happens if you during the night wake up because a fire alarm is beeping, you see a lot of smoke and you have to get out through, let's say, this door or another door. But first I want to talk about just how you can prepare yourself in case the smoke detector goes off. There we go. And you need to have a sort of escape plan for it. And you need to have at least 2 ways to get out of your room in case it's smoke filled, just in case the first way doesn't work. And basically what you do is you set up an emergency escape plan. And if you have kids, well, you teach it to them too, of course, and you go through room by room. You can also have just one major room where you know fire may break out. Like for me, for example, I am in my kitchen, and that is, for example, where the fire might start in my case. But you basically walk them through room by room and you practice it when you have the plan set up for once a year and maybe twice a year. And you tell the kids the same thing, you show it to them, and what you tell them is that you need to get out. If you have a doll or something like that that you might like, you have to unfortunately maybe leave it, since your life is more important than it. Basically you set up also, if you have, for example, a 2-story house, you need to have maybe like a way to exit through the balcony. So you may need to have a ladder up there or somewhere else, if you own a house, of course. And yeah, that might be it. And one other thing, you need to also have a assembly point. For example, when you get out of your house and it's burning, or your apartment and it's burning, you need to have an assembly point. For example, it may be in front of your garage, for example, if you have a house, or you need to have down the street. And that you tell your kids, you go there straight off. For example, mine is by the trash bin. I don't really have the location for it now. I may show it later, just in case. And just away. And you also need to tell them to teach them how to basically call the fire department, the police, or the paramedics, depending on what you have. And you need to tell them basically 3 things: where you're at. Let's start over there. Who you are, where you're at, and what is happening. That is what you tell them. For example, my name is Northern. I live at here and here, and there is a fire going on. I need the help of the fire department. And that is what the SOS caller or the dispatch caller will know, and they will send, of course, to you. And you also need to teach them the number for this. And in Sweden, which the perspective I'm talking about, you need to have your own land number for the dispatch or SOS. In Sweden, it is 112, or as we say in Swedish, 112. That is basically the number you go, and then you come to the SOS dispatcher that will call, that depending on what you call will send out either the firefighters, paramedics, or the police. But in this case, we're talking about a fire, that will send out the fire department to your place. And that's basically it. You also need to maybe assign other things. For example, if you have a dog that you want to get out, you assign someone to get it out. For example, the dad might take the dog while the mother take the kids, and so on and so on. But that's enough of that. You can always set up an emergency plan. I will, of course, as usual, send you to sites that has better clues on, that can give you more deeper ideas in how you set up an emergency escape plan, both in Swedish and in English. And yeah, so now let's get on to how to more or less get out. And we have to change location for that, for what I want to do to work. Now let's go. And here we are at the location where I'm going to record the next part. Now this is just me showing, as you can see, there's no smoke, everything is clear. Now I'm just showing what you need to do in case you have to go through either smoke-filled room or something like that to get to the nearest exit. For example, in this case, it's the metal door straight in front of me. Now, as you all know, heat rises and smoke tend to be very hot and very poisonous. You do not want to stand in it, because you won't make it. Basically, from my, not experience, but from what I know, or from what is pretty much known, you don't survive when you inhale that fire. They inhale that smoke. You drop down straight away and you won't, unfortunately, not get up again. So what you do is, to avoid that smoke up in the ceiling, you go down on your knees. Oh, sorry about that. I have a bit of a wound on my knee, so yeah, but that's just for me to kill out. And what basically you do is you go down on all 4 and you start crawl. You don't have to go prone. you just go down on all fours and you start to crawl towards the door. And this is something everyone can make, and this way you avoid the smoke that's up in the ceiling and also some of the heat, because as I said, heat rises and on the floor you will be cooler and less smoke. And then you reach the door. Now, you do not want to open the door straight away. You need to do some security checks first. For example, you need to touch the door. And this reason is to make feel if it's hot. If it's hot, you know there may be fire on the other side and you may have to take your escape plan or evacuation plan too. You feel the door, you can feel the handle, you can feel the lock. Handle lock, and you can feel if it's not hot, of course, it's safe to be there. But here's an important case of note. If you live in an apartment building and you notice there is smoke coming out from your entry door into the apartment basically. You do not enter into the staircase of the apartment complex, because that will be probably smoke filled, and you're basically then safer inside your apartment until the fire departments arrive. But you do exactly the same things. You avoid this place and you go to a place where the smoke can't reach, and maybe you go out into the balcony. You call the fire department, like in Sweden, you go out into the fire department. In Sweden, you call the fire department by calling 112, or now in English 112, and tell them who you are, what is happening, and where you're at. For example, you tell them, my name is Northern, I live here and here, and the staircase in my apartment complex is smoke filled. And that's basically it. Now I can sense this is not hot, and now I enter, I exit through the door, still going prone, and I see there is no smoke up in the ceiling, it's safe in here. I walk out, and what I do is now, when I know, I close the door behind me. The reason I do this is something I learned as a firefighter, but also something as you do, is to make sure that the smoke doesn't spread. Now, this may not stop it for long, but it will prevent the smoke and the heat from clearing out, giving you more time to get out, more time to, save parts of your house, and more time for the fire department to arrive and do their job. And that is what else you can do. Now, of course, you need to, that's it basically. And now I'm gonna pause a bit and go back to another location to get off my knees, because they are hurting a bit. See you soon. And now we are standing by the window, since I don't really need to get out. But in case of fire, you need to get out. And as you can see, there are the trash bins, which I have set as my assembly point. Now you go there when you're out, and you make sure to warn everyone else that's around that there is a fire going on. You alarm the authorities, the fire department, by pressing 112. Sorry, my mistake, 1, 1 and 2. Or in Swedish, as we say, 112. You tell them once again, where you're at, who you are, or reverse order, who you are, where you're at, and what is going on, and they will send you the fire department that will help you and take out. Also, what you can do in that case, if you have something maybe in your garage, if it's on fire, if it's, for example, combustious or dangerous to exploding, you can tell that to the dispatcher, and they will also tell that to the fire department, and they will act accordingly after that. And that is basically what I have today. This is another way to make sure that in case of a fire, you will be safe, or get out safe in this case. And I hope it's been enjoyable for you, even though a bit short. But as usual, I will send you to sites that will give you more in-depth what you can do to prepare other exit plans, other escape routes, and what else you can do. But until then, everyone, I'm gonna back up a bit, and not the funnest of all, but there it is. I hope this is helping you even a bit. And if you have questions, you're welcome to put them down in the comment section down below, and I will answer them to the best of my abilities. Other than that, I hope it helps you sometime. I hope that you stay safe in these days, in these times, since, they are pretty dangerous. And please take care of yourselves. And as a firefighter, I cannot push it enough. Please remember to extinguish the fire in your fireplaces, blow out your candles, and turn off your stoves before you leave your home or before you go to bed. I will say it as many times as needed until you remember it. This is Northern Firefighter signing off. Have a pleasant day, everyone.